All right, guys, Anchor.fm, my home podcast platform, my favorite of all of them, by far. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's by Spotify. It's their podcast wing. It has everything you need in one place. Let me explain. It has all the tools you need to record and edit the podcast right from your phone or your computer. There's so much you'll see on YouTube about needing this microphone, that microphone. No, Anchor has it all right in the app. I'm telling you, the quality that it can pick up in your voice right from a normal phone, it's unmatched. No app I can download can record with the precision of Anchor. And when you're hosting on Anchor, you can describe your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple, Google, radio host, even more. It's just everything you need to make a podcast, guys. It's all in one place. It's the best. And guess what? It's completely free. Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Once again, anchor.fm, that's ANCHOR.fm to get started. Three, two, one. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, subscribers. My name is Rxan Smith, and welcome to the Rxan Smith Podcast. Get your umbrellas out, because I'm about to brainstorm. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome. Happy July. Uh-oh. Did anyone hear that rude interrupting? There it is again. All right, let's see, guys. Just it's probably what most of you expected. This is Santos. Well, he loved an audio message. He's gonna listen to them all. And he'll listen to that episode again when he feels like he needs an ego in check. He can't retweet that episode though. It's too risky for people that know me if they listen. See, one sentence, he needs his ego in check, and the other sentence, if he retweets it, it's risky for people that know he listens, because what he listens to is subject to public opinion. So, I would like to publicly announce that I am honored that Dom listened to the episode. That is a feat that, to be honest, I did not think he was capable of. That's why I made the brief episode instructing him how the podcast goes, and But guys, you know how you've been blowing up my message boards with the requests that you want Dom Santos on the show? Well, he seems to think that you all think he's an asshole. He doesn't seem to see what I see, which is that you no longer want to listen to me run a solo show. You want to listen to me converse with this guy that I punched in the face, and that for some reason tells other people I punched him in the face to make me look good, he thinks. Except that he's just so large that it almost looks like he owes me money. There he goes again. This is him. He's breaking all the rules of his contract right now. He's texting during airtime. He just told me that he wants to join the running of the Bulls next year, and he wants to be one of the Bulls. It's a very strange thing to say. Very strange thing to say. You see, Don might have been kicked in the head by a bull, for all I know. It's starting to look that way. But first of all, I just want to emphasize again, he listened to that episode. This man, first of all, wait, I can't preface my second point with first of all, can I? No. he has about 12 to 15 minutes of free time per week. That's a fact. Because when I was allegedly doing alleged things that were allegedly illegal in the alleged state of New Alleged Jersey, he allegedly stashed me in his basement. And I allegedly lived his life for 3 months. And consisting of waking up and going to bed in the dark, whether it was summer or winter. Very odd feeling. There was immense amounts of physical activity. He made me drive a vehicle behind him as he ran through the woods and got ready to professionally fight after college for, well, I guess it would technically be for the money, but I know the real truth. He had anger issues, and he wanted to have any human being that could stand in front of him feel the wrath of all of his pain, and never has there been a quicker fight. It looked like Tyson in the 80s. And we're not going to mention the bow and arrow thing because we don't want to embarrass him, but I mean, he should be embarrassed. It's like one of those things. You ever see an offensive lineman like score a touchdown, or like they recover a fucking fumble that after a guy picks the ball off and they somehow end up with it in their hands, and now they're running towards the end zone, and they're getting close. You can see it's like running through their heads, like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And they have no plan for this. I have no idea how Dom had no plan for this, because everybody in attendance knew that he was going to rip this guy's head off like a Ken doll. And he was excited after, I would say, I probably watched him train for at least 100 hours. And first round submission. And I know for a fact that he did not plan that celebration. It was impromptu. He didn't know what to do. He was excited, like an offensive lineman scoring a touchdown. They don't know what to do. Except the thing is that, again, he should be used to ripping people's heads off. And as much as he likes to tell people that I rip his head off, and as much as it technically is bordering the truth, it's more his inebriation that is the issue here. And the second time, I was begging him. I think I was sitting in the passenger seat, and he said, "Open the door." No. Open the door. No. I'm not opening the door. Get out and fight me. No. And then he came around to the driver's side, and I think I was chased around the car a couple of times, and then I got angry. I said, if you don't stop, I'm going to punch you. And I swear to God that he ran into my fist. And I wish I could talk about why he was so mad. And it's such a fucking, God, it's such a fucking thing that you do not want to be next to this man when he does. Oh my God. First of all, it shouldn't be something anyone's doing, especially in Patterson. And I can't even talk about it anymore. It's just because I said Patterson, don't think it's crime related. I mean, I know that's usually the case, but it's not crime related. This is losing his wallet related. And I think he had $11 in his wallet, and that was the money he was going to use to pay the next person to get on my front lawn and get put in the, I think he called it the Cobra Clutch. I think that's what he would call it. Did it pretty much every weekend on my front lawn. But I want to read the comments. Nick4284 from, I guess, South Carolina. Nick, you're from SC, South Carolina. You're not doing South Carolina any favors there, Nick. All right. You say, Dom sounds awesome. I want to meet him. Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. I literally mock him for a show. I think it's going to entertain him. It makes him mad, and it gives the viewers. You want to meet him? Why do you want to meet him? You want to get punched in the face, or do you think he's gonna? He's not gonna let you punch him in the face. And yeah, and he's an angry individual. You're gonna have to be very, very tough. You know, he's he's so loving and so angry, and there's nothing in the middle. And they just come out in these fucking bursts of extremes, and you know, admittedly, I'm like that too. I cry a lot, I scream a lot, but in his presence, he doesn't really get that type of behavior, unless it's from Mike Momo. But these days he's screaming at everybody. Always has, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, so he wants to meet Dom. Okay, so no problem. If you, Nick from SC, South Carolina, would have read the description, I said that upon request I will give everyone Dom's personal contact information, and they can feel free to contact him whenever they want, and they can take accountability for their actions too, because if you think because you're a stranger and you call him and tell him that you're a fan, even though only Dom can get a fucking fan without going on the goddamn fucking show, just with me talking about him being drunk and asinine, he gets fans. Ridiculous. I literally did a 20-minute segment of the show how everyone worships him in the whole state of New Jersey, and the fathers that normally in that state, you know, we all have this ego problem. They don't want their kid looking up to another man that's younger than them, and they still carry Sharpies. And Dom won't sign autographs either. He's like, no, I'm not signing your fucking autograph. So it's amazing, but I will give out his personal information, and he's probably going to get mad at me. There's a chance he won't, but there's a 100% chance that he will not hold back on you because you're a stranger, and he will not give a shit what it makes you feel like. His intention might not be to scare you, but it will scare you. So, you know, call at your own risk. Call at your own risk. He scares me to this day for no reason. I told him I'm getting married, and he mocked me for 30 minutes, and then proceeded to mix up the word sire with, like something put out to stud with stepdad. He kept telling me I'm siring children. I'm gonna marry somebody that has children, so I've been put out to stud to sire children. And again, he's genius IQ, and he mixes up something like that. Let's go to the next comment. All right, Jimmy Fallon fan 21. You should be embarrassed of that name, man. Usernames should really be audited by your friends. Jimmy Fallon fan 21. Man. Anyway, he says, how much can Dom bench press? The fuck do I know, Jimmy Fallon fan? He could probably bench press somewhere between a Lincoln and a Buick. And depending how angry he is, maybe a Cadillac Escalade. I mean, it's pure rage and adrenaline coming out during his benching. And he has perfect form. Let's see. Next question. This is from XXX Sexy Eyes 21. Dude sounds hot. Give him my number. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we get a lot of that too. Especially from the girls that tell me to give them their number, but don't leave their number. So, hey, XXX, Sexy Eyes, um, he's married, and I'm not allowing it. I'm going to veto it because you just told me to give him a number, but didn't provide the number. He's had plenty of stupid morons like you. All right, next comment. Okay, this one. Podcast Boss 23. RX, capital AN. I feel like you're calling me a prescription drug addict. I don't capitalize the R and the X simply because Ryan is not a username that's available anymore. Anyway, I think you're a big liar. I looked him up on the internet. There's no way that you could have knocked him out. Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. I didn't say I knocked him out. I said he ran into my fist at full speed. And right when we put the peas on his face, he jumped up like some type of fucking demon and grabbed the first person. And at the time, by the way, is this him again? Let's see if it's him. No. At the time, I thought, see, there's a bunch of North Jersey kids. I'm a South Jersey guy. They like to make fun of me. I thought it was so fucking like, burned in my head because at the time, I had no idea who this guy was. He's a friend of ours, throughout college. After that, I met him, and, but it was this like 6'2" black kid with an afro. And, he was being manhandled, which is he's probably one of the easier men to manhandle, I would say. And I'm under the impression that this is just some, like, townie, like lives in Delaware. Dom comes out of the house, like the Incredible Hulk with no shirt on. He's green. He looks left, he looks right, and he just sees this guy and runs at him and puts him in a headlock on the ground and starts screaming. And I was like, what the fuck? But they were friends. And that's why, like, he was like, come on, let me go. But, like, I just like, thought that, he knew him because he was, like, a football star. So he was calling him Dom. I had no idea what was going on. Because this guy literally just went from peas on his face, eyes shut, to outside, breaking spinal cords. But, we're going to get a quick break in real quick from our sponsor, Marriott Bonvoy. Quick one, 40-second. And I'm going to come back, and I'm going to tell you about Donald. They call him Dom. His name is Donald. Donald. Who kind of looks like, man, what does he look like? He looks like an unkempt guy that used to, have the fro with the pick in it, but like never like shaped up. And then he used to hang out with this guy that looked like the poor man's Jim Brewer from Half Baked, with the tie-dye shirt. Being like, I got Jerry Garcia in a bag. My name is Phil. And there was this other dude that was, like a typical, sorry son of a bitch guy, who was dating the hottest girl in college when they were younger. But not because she liked him or because he was going to ever have sex with her. Because she had some issues and she was going to toy with his head, and she just felt it okay to be his girlfriend and never actually, hang out with him. And eventually, man, what was his name? He lived up in that apartment with Zilla. Dated, but her name was Christy. And of course, who does she live with by the time that we get to my junior year and Dom's senior year. No, actually, they were the same thing, because I think so. I think he was redshirted. I'm pretty sure I was never at a college year without him. Definitely wasn't. The D1 schools redshirt everybody. So, I mean, not everybody, but the 1AA schools probably almost everybody, I would imagine. And anyway, so this was the junior year of me in academics, and I, decide, I'm having, a nice little streak going with the ladies. It was lasted for about 3 years at this point, before I get wifed up shortly thereafter. Not literally, figuratively, by this bitch named Ashley. That, I asked, me and Dom were cool with her brother, who has the coolest fucking name. His name is actually Blaze, and he is a weed dealer. And he always used to tell me a story that he was in a class with Dom in freshman year, and Dom heard attendance called, and he said, he goes, "Is your name really Blaze?" It's fucking awesome. The child always comes out in some random spot that you're not expecting. But anyway, so I remember asking Blaze permission to date Ashley. He says, "You can. If you hurt her, I'm gonna break your legs." And I give him the eyebrow, "Eh? Really? Are you? You? Okay. I'm not gonna hurt her. I'm asking you if it would be awkward, because we're friends." And she kind of didn't tell me she was your sister until we did some pretty dirty shit. So I gotta kind of go out of order here. And he goes, "I'm just gonna tell you one thing. She's a fucking bitch, a spoiled bitch. It's a stupid decision." And he was right. Anyway, so back to the weird girl who lives with her ex-boyfriend Donald and Phil, and she's dating this guy on the football team I never met. Don would tell me about him, and he would, he had some success with her, because he would treat her like you have to treat a girl like that, like shit. And then they, fucking, are crying for attention. It's just a tragedy. But, yeah, when I come back, I'm going to tell you a little bit about One Night in the Rain. Alright, guys. Like I meant to do 5 minutes ago, we're going to go take a commercial break. And when I come back, Rxan Smith Podcast, Brainstorm, is going to tell you about one night that there was a rainstorm. Dom remembers this night. If Dom's jealous of anything, it's this. If any man is jealous of anything, it's this. The only thing is that I'm going to confess it on the show here. I mean, yeah, it was hot. It's also weird. So weird that it kind of wasn't hot. But after these messages, we'll be right back. Hey guys, just want to remind you, go into the description. There is a link for Uber Eats, and there's a link for Marriott Bonvoy. I put it for Android, and I put it for iPhone. So there's 4 total links. Alright, so like I said before the commercial, I was telling you about the hippie kid that Dom was manhandling on the lawn, and his roommate that, Phil, did I mention him? That was his roommate. And that other roommate, I think whatever his name was, I think it was an Italian last name, and he's he didn't really look Italian. They called him by his last name, defo or something. Like, he was real quiet. He never talked, and like he like kissed this girl, right? Like his like freshman or sophomore year, and like fell in love with her. And she was a nice girl, so like she, pretended like that's she was into it, but she wasn't. She was into me. And who did she live with? And I'm talking, when I say she's the hottest girl in school, you could easily make an argument for that. Perfect body, beautiful face, beautiful smile. Fucking, there's like hippie chicks that also like throws in that like modern fashion when she wants to. Like, she's like a chameleon of hotness. Her name is Christy. So of course she lives with the kid that Dom put in the headlock, and the fucking fucking Feel, Jim Brewer knockoff, and her ex-boyfriend, normal, right? And we had a little brainstorm of our own, except it was just a rainstorm, not a brainstorm. Actually, it ended up being a brainstorm. I think I got some brainstorm under a tree for a little bit, but it was mostly weird. He was the first. It was the first black hippie that I ever met, if that's what you'd call him. He used to hang out with this other guy named Phil. I mean, you could have easily made some kind of fucking TV show about them that would have went off the air in 3 episodes, but been hilarious. Like, they talked like, they talk like, dude, yo, bro. And then the one that was in the headlock would be like, they were a real, they're like the perfect example of people that should not be in college, but just for some reason hang around there. It brings me to a fond memory. They lived with this girl. Dom, you know where I'm going? Are you still tuned in, Mr. Santos? There's these peculiar girls. I was blessed femininely. Is that what it's called? I certainly wasn't blessed follically. My hair looks like a fucking like a mop that's been overused for about 3 years. But anyway, Christy, picture like straight up supermodel, body, face, smile, everything, but like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but held it in pretty well. She went through a phase where she was like, obsessed with me, and we watched Sopranos, me and Dom. I remember that night, finished watching it, and we were talking about the episode after. It's a common New Jersey thing to argue, like, where are they? What city they in? No, that's not on fucking Clifton Avenue. That's on Bloomfield Avenue. No, they're not at fucking Asbury Park. That's Point Pleasant. It's this endless charade that would go on. And she called me and told me to come over, and I was going to come over, and of course I, being the asshole I am, I let the most beautiful girl in the school just sit there and wait in the thunderstorm. Now, little in my knowledge did I know that this girl, Christy, supermodel, who lived with the guy that was in the headlock on my front lawn, and his hippie friend Beavis, and her ex-boyfriend, who had brown hair, and I forget what his name is. But yeah, so anyway, I drive over there, I pull up, probably, she was like a 3-minute drive from my house. I think I pulled up a half hour later, and I get out of the car, I shut the door, and I hear this, like, it sounded like Dom, and he was running at me. I turn around, but it's someone more petite running at me. It's her, wearing a neon orange velour dress. She's been standing out in the rain since she called me and told me to come over, and I said I'll be over in 5. So she decided I'm going to wait out in the rain and I'm going to have sex with him when he gets here. That's what I'm going to do to throw him off and surprise him. And oh boy, did she. And I remember she was smacking me. Like, what the fuck took you so long? But she still wanted to get down, and she pushed me against a tree. And then I remember she stopped and she put her hand on my chest and she picked her dress up and wiped her brow. No underwear, no bra, completely naked underneath. And then she just looks at me. And normally that would have intimidated me, but there was just this characteristic about this girl. She was so weird. Dom definitely had the chance, and he turned it down too. She did that. If any other girl looked like her and was as hard to get as her did that, you would all your game would go right out the window. You'd turn into a muttering idiot. But when she did it, I'm like, let me guess. This is not going to end in me, even touching her naked. And it's not going to be her playing hard to get. She's just, doing odd things. And, but, I wasn't going to be sitting out in the rain being teased by this girl. So I had her up against a tree. And since she was wiping her brow with the dress, it was a pretty easy zip down to the fly and a nice little poke. What is that? Hey Google, stop. And then we get in the house. I remember she throws me on her bed. She takes off my clothes. She takes off her clothes. She leaves my underwear on and sits on top of me. And doesn't really ride me. She's it's she got right to that step where everything is about to explode into passionate lovemaking. And she said something about her dad. And I was like, oh God, here we go. And she's like, I am going to rock your world. I'm like, yeah? 50-1 that you're not. 50-1 that you're going to do something weird. And I've had the last of the sex I'm going to have with you. You dreamed up the hottest thing you can do. You did it. And then you even wiped the brow, to preface for it getting hotter. And you stopped the sex in 10 minutes and went inside to simulate teasing, and you were talking and telling odd stories. And then Phil came in and said, I didn't know you guys were in here. Quite obviously to take a peek. Fucking, as a college man, be ashamed. Fucking idiot. But Dom used to actually remember that, and he's like, I can't believe you did that. He was so mad at himself, because I could tell that he had a chance better than me. He just didn't take it for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't know, I never got into her. And of course, as we all know, when you do that, that's when women go absolutely fucking bananas. So how that story ends is after we graduate, driving to Atlantic City, and I get a phone call. Smith. She used to call me Smith. What are you doing? Hey, what's up? My God, I haven't talked to you in fucking 4 months. I'm going to Atlantic City. Yeah, I know. They told me. I'm driving down from Connecticut. where are you going? We got it. And she's like, I am going to park my car, meet me there, don't go in without me. Right? And then my phone died. And that was the last time I ever spoke to her again. Anyway, yeah. Let me read the next comment. Where, and by the way, I want to add, I don't get comments on my shows. So, this is what I'm talking about. This is this effect that he has. And he's talking about he's going to listen to the show if he ever needs to have his ego in check. So I'm putting on a follow-up show to show him, oh yeah, in case you need your ego in check? Why? So like random people on the internet, male, female, boy, men, boys, women, girls, they all, want to know more about the guy that didn't even speak. Guys, I'm going to have some news for you. We're going to invite him onto the show. We're going to invite him on the show. Patch him in. Let me predict him. I'm going to give him a 911. He's not listening or anything. Yeah, so, anyway, there's a summary of the victim of Santos, the outlaw Jersey snail, and it's funny. This girl Christy, the timing was crazy. Right after that, like the most maybe passionate fucking sexual experience in my life, I then meet this girl Ashley, who I like set my sights on. I have no idea that she's my friend Blaze's sister. And at the same time, who was the third one that was thrown in the mix right then and there? I was just like fucking overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do. Oh, that's right, Vivian. Fuck. Two of them ended up being my girlfriends. I feel like it was somebody else. Oh no, it wasn't Vivian. That's right. It was this girl. It was this girl, Michelle. Michelle is this girl. Now, Christy and Ashley's, very, very beautiful Italian girl. Christy's, like I said, gorgeous, model-esque. Ashley, not to take anything away from her, but she's human. This other girl, Michelle, she was half Puerto Rican and half Jewish, so she had this ass on her, and she like kind of flirted with me all throughout college, but we never besides this one weird day that there was a plot against me with my new queen and her, where I'm pretty sure they were like planning to rape me and taking turns throwing me in bedrooms while my current girlfriend freshman year was in the apartment. But yeah, like she was definitely somebody the bunch of the guys wanted because the way she acted. And when the older you get, the more you look at the way she acted like a fucking corny, annoying kid. But like it was like within 1 week, it's like the girl that I'd end up dating for 3 years, almost marrying, and who leaves me when I fucking get into some legal and drug problems. She really stuck by me. But like I have her, I have the fucking supermodel, and then I have the girl with the the fucking ass that's like sculpted by God himself. That's a friend, so I can't say anything negative. But like it was like pretty much always like this for me. But for the three, I'd say the top 10 like of my favorites in college to all like get spring fever over me at the same fucking time. It was, you know, it was a little overwhelming. Of course I do what I always do, go with the good girl. It was really not the good girl. She's the, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want it just this way girl. And the whole time I could have had the one I really fucking wanted, but, you know. And I had her in between too, because she wouldn't just not play by the rules. She would fucking say, "Can I borrow a pencil, Ryan?" Oh, it's my hand on your pocket. That's not a pencil, is it? You know, so it was like, the end of my junior year going into the summer. I mean, I was definitely at the height of my power and like notoriety in college, and girls, you know, sophomores knew, seniors knew, and then all the girls my age obviously knew, and I was just blessed during that time. We all have it, you know, that every single girl that we see that we want, we can have, right? No, I didn't think so. But don't worry. Dom used to tell me, "Hey Ryan, nice penis extension. You add it to the collection." Because every day I'd like pull up in the driveway, new car, new motorcycle, fucking TVs in my headrest, fucking thousands and thousands of dollars of clothes. You know, like when you're a decent looking guy with the, you know, personality that's a little less than impossible to tolerate. You know, you tend to do well with women when you're a millionaire with every shiny thing in the world. But anyway, that you know, that kind of was always the pattern. You know, run through every single girl that I thought was attractive and I couldn't find anymore, and then I'd settle down with. And here, this is my sick criteria back then. I would always try to settle down with the girl, and I'd never hit the nail on the head because I have this taste that is very specific to me, and I always thought that the girl I was settling down with was the girl that everyone in college thought was, you know, the hottest person ever, and they were like afraid to talk to her. And don't get me wrong, they all thought that these girls were definitely 8s and 9s, but it wasn't quite like that with Ashley and Vivian and Alexis. You know, they liked the interims. Don remembers Christy. He's like reminded me of that Brainstorm thing a million times. It's like a lot of it's funny, all those fucking crazy sexual events in my life. Doing the life and crimes of Rxan Smith, the memories have faded out, and after the head injuries it ramped up, and then after this new relationship, this girl used to fucking, I had more memories of her than all of them, because this girl literally started, you know, trying to fucking rape me in like freshman year, maybe sophomore year. I just didn't stop. And I couldn't do anything about it. I would push her away every time. It was my good friend's girlfriend. It would drive me crazy. And if I told him, he was one of those that wouldn't like listen, or maybe he would stop talking to me. But he definitely like wouldn't mention it to her. So she knew all that. I was like powerless, and she thought it was hilarious. So you know, it was college. It's fucking annoying when you're 22 and you know that it'll never get better. You know, it's more annoying when it gets better for fucking 4 or 5 straight years after that too. Right up until the DEA, the FBI, then state police, the local police all emerged down on your syndicate and announced they've been investigating you for 7 years. No shit, you don't say. Is that because we've been trafficking drugs for 7 years? Anyway, so, alright, this was more of another ramble. You know, sorry guys, you're gonna get the rambles, but you keep fucking drooling over Dom in the comments, then that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get me fucking reminiscing about things that are gonna, be things that he can reminisce about. And we're gonna start a movement. It's called hashtag Get Dom Podcasting. Get Dom Podcasting. Get him podcasting about inappropriate things, because he's a coach and he's a teacher and a role model. And we want him talking about inappropriate things. They're out there. Scandals are out there. Scandals are out there. They'll pop out. I'm telling you, they'll pop out. Get them on here. This personal information, I'm gonna give it out right now. If you want to write them, just write them here. Avenue, attention, New Jersey, zeros. If you want to call on the phone, 28. All right, and Twitter, of course, it's at Coach Dom BC. All right, that's enough of you fucking mongrels for today. I'm gonna go to the gym, fucking train for my next fight with Dom. You heard me. What? You gotta go start drinking? Yeah, I bet you do. Alright, folks. Put your fucking umbrellas away. The brainstorm's over. If that's what you want to call that. That was more like a fucking half violent and half horny brain fart. But I'm going to stick with my original podcast name, Brainstorm. You guys, you have a nice weekend. And don't forget, check out the premiere tonight, episode 1. Everybody, I'm really asking you here, subscribe. $8.99 a season. Alright? We're going to give you 10 fucking episode seasons of the life and crime of Rxan Smith. So, the Brainstorm Podcast Part 2. Brainstorm. A drug strategy to take over the world. So, watch tonight. It's the first ever Spotify video podcast. We're gonna YouTube. I think that they have humongous testicles for doing that. I mean, big balls. Don't say they have humongous testicles. Yeah. So I'm gonna my premium content's gonna be video. And guys, you heard me promoting the show. You've heard me tell a couple little teaser stories here that are about the past. Premium content, it will be exclusively illegal activity involving violence, drug dealing, all kinds of crimes, all kinds of sex, beautiful women, celebrities. I'm going to blow up people's spots that are going to be, I know, listening to the show, biting their nails. Please don't, and then hear their name. I am going to make that worth your $8.99 a month. Guys, subscribe. I'm going to get the publicist on this. I'm investing some money in it. I already have, I guess told you guys, we're getting 90,000 views on YouTube, and all the other platforms combined, yet only 3,000 subscribers. So I've been told to say, please hit like and subscribe. Really, guys, if you want to get notified when I'm talking, when it's time to get the umbrellas out, you got to hit like and subscribe in case you didn't know by now. And I hate that statistics show me that's going to triple the number of subscribers I have. I thought my subscribers were a little bit more intelligent and weren't such little bitches that I could say like and subscribe and they say, yes, sir. You know what? As a matter of fact, if you don't like it, don't like. And if you don't want to subscribe, don't subscribe. But if you do, you'll be subscribed to something that you're not going to hear anywhere in your life. I guarantee you that less than 1% of you have a friend that has the stories that I have. And guess what? I'm forcing the characters from real life onto the podcast. And every one of them, because of their life in the past, crime, or what they do now and how unacceptable it is, they are going to kick and scream, but they're going to do it because they all owe me from something. And I'm calling in the favors now. Alright, that's it. This has been an Rx Smith production. Have a nice fucking weekend. And no, Dom is not coming out to play. I'd love for him to be on the show. You have a better chance of him not assailing a man walking on my front lawn like an innocent civilian and putting him in a headlock. You have a better chance of him not doing that